Fast forward 10 years ago, I've decided that I wanted to get into real estate sales. I got my real estate license 9 years ago, going on 10 years ago. And I knew that was going to be my stepping stone to what I am doing now, which is real estate investing, creating generational wealth. Hiring a coach that's going to give you that certainty, that conviction, that guarantee that, listen, you're not going to fail. You're going to make, you're going to be all right.
This. Yeah.
And after this, you're going to go after your second property, third property, your 100th property, whatever you want to do. Then after that, you're going to be able to scale. Give me some of that nastiness.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that I know a lot of investors are passing on.
Yeah.
Because it stinks too much. Because it looks too nasty.
Yeah.
But listen, I remodel and I flip hundreds of homes in my career where I know that I could grab a ugly and nasty and turn it into the most beautiful property in the neighborhood.
I am so excited today, especially the last couple of months. You know, Sosi has been challenging me, Min, you need to find a mentor. And growing up in life, I had some daddy issues where I didn't want to look for, you know, an authority to tell me or help me grow. So I didn't give myself a chance to believe and want more. So that's why I was so afraid to have a mentor. And today, is probably one of my first mentors that I have ever reached out to mentor me in real estate investing. So today we have JJ on.
Heck yeah.
He's a real estate investor. He's also a motivational coach, also a real estate coach, correct?
Right.
And today he's going to break down and help us believe that we deserve a chance.
So JJ, start us off. Like if somebody's jumping onto his podcast today and they're like, JJ, what the heck is that? Or who is that?
Right.
You know, like if they're trying to even make a split second decision right now and go, should I listen to this guy? Give us some of the accolades. Tell us what you've done, where you're at now, and we'll back up and go how you got there. But tell us kind of a summary. Where are you at now? Put it on the table.
Perfect. We'll start with this. During COVID, 2.5, maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
During COVID, I had to make a drastic decision. And that was to stay home and do what everybody in the world was doing, which is nothing, being scared because of everything that was going on. The whole media was, putting a lot of fear in everyone, or do the complete opposite. So I remember that day that everyone told that everybody got that notice. You have to stay home, lock up. I sent a mandatory text to my whole family. I told them, hey, we have a mandatory Zoom meeting today at 8:00. Do not miss it. Mandatory. Everybody got on, and I said, listen, this is what's happening now. We don't know if it's going to be 3, 6 months, a year, 2 years. We don't know that. So we have to do something different. We have to think outside the box. And my outside the box was to start and go all in on real estate investing. And so during COVID, I bought my first duplex out of state. And I bought it from California. I had never been to Cleveland, Ohio. I had to Google it to find out where it was at, real talk. But I ran my numbers, did the underwriting, looked at other photos, videos, and I knew that was gonna be my first purchase in real estate. 2 years later, here we are, nearly 100 doors in Cleveland, Ohio.
100 doors in 2 years.
In 2 years, two and a half years. And so now we're not only investing, but we're also teaching, mentoring people on how to do the same, how to start building generational wealth, a family legacy through real estate investing, which is multi-unit rental. So that's kind of like how I ended up here.
100 doors in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, 100 doors, 2.5 years. We're going to break into that. I want to hear some practical pieces.
That's like
all that
an anomaly
stuff.
right there.
Yeah. But we all know that the result of who you are is now 200. And, 10 years from now, it's going to be really cool to see what journey you've had. But for anybody who's listening and they're like, okay, you got my attention, 100 doors. But they now say, I have no point of reference for that. There's no way I can ever get there. Let's talk a little about how you got there.
Like, to get 100 doors,
how
much do you need to start with financially to get to 100 doors?
Yeah.
That's because in my mind, a lot of people don't understand they can get loans.
Yeah.
So
but
like,
first, let's go to your child. Like, I want to hear like your background first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We'll go into the practical piece right after. But when, like, let's say there's a 19-year-old kid right now listening to this who just lost his one chance at whatever, and he wanted some encouragement. He came on here and he wants to figure it out. Or a business person who's in their 40s who just lost their business because their biggest client fell out. Like, and they're now listening to this.
Yeah, I'll say this. High school dropout. I dropped out in 9th grade here from Orange County, California.
Dropped out in 9th grade?
9th grade.
It's the first year of high school.
Yeah, first year. I think I only attended maybe a month and a half to about 9th grade. Bro. You know, my parents went through a separation, through a divorce, and I had to make a decision again at such a young age to continue in school or drop out and look for a job to support my mother and my younger sister.
Wow.
Because of the whole separation, there's, you know, financial hardships. And so I just knew what I had to do. Although I'm the youngest out of the 7 siblings, or my younger sister is the youngest, but I'm the younger of the males.
Yeah.
And 2 other sisters. I just knew I just had to do that.
Yeah.
And so I dropped out of 9th grade, no education. I've learned how to hustle, how to grind, how to make shit happen at a young age. I started picking up from aluminum cans in the streets here of Santa Ana, California, to a paper boy here in Santa Ana, California at the age of 12. That was my first job, official job, you know, as a paper boy for the OC Register.
Wow, that's old school.
Old school, right. And I've done just about anything you can think of, from warehousing to working at a factory, just all the odd jobs you could think of, till, you know, fast forward 9-10 years ago, I've decided that I wanted to get into real estate sales. I got my real estate license 9 years ago, going on 10 years ago, and I knew that was going to be my stepping stone to what I am doing now, which is real estate investing, creating generational wealth. And so, you know, I got into real estate sales. I just knew that I had to scale up and do things faster.
Yeah.
And within 3 months in real estate, I hired my first coach. That's why I'm excited for you, brother. I knew I couldn't afford a coach because I was broke coming back from bankruptcy. Wow. You know, we lost everything in the last 2007, 2008.
You filed for bankruptcy then?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, we lost everything.
Yeah.
What was everything that you had at that point?
Like my houses? Primary home.
Wow.
A few rental properties, I mean, all the way to my toys, my boat, you know, my truck. I mean, everything.
Bro.
Everything. I lost everything.
This was all stuff that you created through what career did you have there?
Through you know, from the age of 18 till, you know, 10 years ago. 10, 11 years ago.
What were you doing?
I was doing warehousing. I did home remodeling for about 10 years.
Okay. As a contractor?
As a contractor. But I was working on my own properties and also doing other people's properties. And I was still doing investing, but I was not a licensed real estate agent.
Yeah.
I was just kind of doing it on the side because I just knew. I bought my first property at the age of 21.
So you had all those toys and that aspect of a portfolio from blue collar work.
Yeah. From straight hustle grind. Yeah. Because again, I didn't know how to do any of that, but I've always been someone just I've always wanted to grow. I've always known that I was meant for more, something greater, bigger. Yeah. And so I've always looked for something better and always wanted to push myself. So I lost everything, which I got to tell you, when I told my mom, she was alive back then, when I told her, Mom, hey, listen, I got to tell you something. And you know, moms know, right, when something's up. And she looked at me and her eyes started getting watery, man. And she goes, what is it? And I was like, you know, I had to file bankruptcy. Yeah. And this is why. And man, I remember she started crying, brother. Yeah. She started crying. And I remember saying, you know, Mom, it's all right. Yeah. It's okay. And I'll tell you what's going to be okay, Mom, because now I know what I need to do, what I don't need to do for the next time around. I've already created what I lost right now. I created out of nothing.
Yeah.
That's gonna leave me. That's left me a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trust me, Mom. I'm gonna come back stronger. I promise you.
Yeah.
And that was back in 2008, 2009, man.
Yeah.
My mom passed away a couple years after that. She never got to see this part.
Damn.
Unfortunately, right?
But I just thinking about
right,
shit,
dude. Like, holy. Can I ask you a question there? So, like, even for me, right, some of the vulnerability on my end is when I've hit these new aspects of success, right, have house worth more than $1 million, all that stuff. I know for me, even when the market turned and I started seeing I had to draw out of savings, and I come from a family where bankruptcy is there and people have lost their houses. I remember I had these demons come in going, you knew you were faking it. Like, you never deserved this life. Like, you knew that you were going to lose this just like your family did. And I started had these demons come in that I had to wrestle with. Did you have any of those kind of moments?
No. So watch. I think this is where we really have to, have that inner conversation with ourselves.
Yeah.
I've always known ever since I was a young kid, a young boy, that I was destined for something great.
Would you agree with like the statement? Because when I hear that, I think I've heard so many times, like, you just have to believe it's okay. And what I'm getting a takeaway from this conversation so far too is that there's a further clarity to that. You have to believe that you're going to make it okay.
You have to believe it. Look, the odds are against us.
Yeah.
Every day, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know if you're going to wake up.
Yeah. It's a miracle you have breath.
It's a miracle. Like, you don't know if you're going to make it from home to your office.
Yeah.
The odds are against us.
Yeah.
Every way, shape, and form, the odds are against us. So you have to believe, you have to have that faith that you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
That you're going to make it, and not just make it, that you're going to be fucking good.
Yeah.
That you're going to be like, you're going to be solid.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're having that relentless mindset. It's really vital, man.
Yeah.
It's and going back to
I like that relentless mindset.
You have to, man.
In your book.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
Because imagine if I would have allowed those demons to take over me while making that first decision to buy that out-of-state property.
Yeah.
I never would have done it.
Yeah, you bought it when it was like
all the odds were
people
against
are
us.
paying rent. I'm like, bro, you got fucking balls buying them. Like, let me buy a rental with no one that has to pay rent right now.
Listen, kid you effing not. I closed on first property. Told my wife, babe, we closed on first property, Cleveland, Ohio. She's like, where's that at? Look it up, Google it, because I don't even know. But we're going. Book a flights. Because we're going 2 weeks later. We're flying out there.
Let's talk about how you made that happen. Min, your question.
My question is like, how did you start knowing that the country's shutting down and knowing how much you needed to allot from your savings to do? I'm assuming going to your wife during the end of the world, hey, babe, we need 50 racks because I'm doing this. She probably asked like, JJ, tell me your exit strategy. Like, buddy, like how did you come up with that?
Watch a lot of married men will probably be like, what the heck are you talking about, JJ? But I didn't consult my wife on that. I didn't. I've always been the decision maker, the last decision maker in my family.
Yeah.
Obviously we talk about certain things. I consult my wife. I tell her kind of like what's going on, but I'm the responsible one for my household. If I fuck up, guess who the blame's gonna be on? Me. You understand?
Yeah.
And so I just didn't tell her. I just knew I had to do something. Right. And so I started looking for deals. I looked at California. There's no way California. As a real estate agent, I just knew it was not the place.
Yeah.
I looked at Arizona, Texas, and Nevada. And although those three states were better than California, they were not the numbers I was looking for. And so it took me to the Midwest.
Yeah.
So, I started looking at the Midwest. In the Midwest, I came across the properties that I could not believe what I was looking at. And honestly, as a real estate agent here in California, I was like, "What?
What's wrong with that?
You could buy a duplex for $60,000, like, and you could run it for like $800. How's this even possible?" Well, after doing some due diligence, because you got to do your homework, I found out that the Midwest is a completely different market. You buy properties for less than $100,000, single multi-units, and rent them out for $750 to $850 all day long.
Damn.
And so we, I've again going back to the wife. I looked at I started looking online.
Yeah.
I found a deal. I negotiated it. I closed on it, and that's when I told my wife, "Hey, we're flying to Cleveland, Ohio. We're gonna go check it out."
Did you fly there before it closed or after?
No, after. and that's why
crazy. Right
that's why I tell you guys, watch. And I know not everyone's wired the same way like I am, but you have to be willing to take risks, people.
Yeah.
Sylvia, I know, bought 2 of them, and she's never been to.
Like you understand, we're surrounded with a lot of talkers, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about this, and there's only a few doers.
Yeah.
I like to fucking talk, bro. I talk for a living. You get me? I'm a salesperson, but I'm also a doer.
Yeah.
If I see an opportunity, man, you best believe I'm taking it, and I'll ask the questions as I'm going.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so that was just one of the things that I just knew as a real estate agent, real estate professional. That was just too good to let go, to pass on. I mean, the numbers made sense. First property, and I'll tell you guys because you asked me how you go talk to your wife about your savings. I'll tell you guys how about that first property. I bought it with an SBA loan.
Explain what SBA is loan for small business.
A small business.
For what it is, administrative.
It's like a small business loan, right?
Yeah.
For most small business, small businesses. And so during COVID, you guys remember they were giving out a lot of SBA loans. And I was like, all right, so I could go here or I could go here. And so one of the things that I want everybody to know is that although you may have some money, it's always best to use other people's money. You understand?
Yeah.
In this case, it was SBA loan.
Yeah, country.
And so I went and I bought, and I got me a loan for $6,000. They gave it to me. And that's how I bought my first property.
You bought it cash then?
I bought it through a hard money, but leveraging the SBA loan.
So your down payment came from the SBA loan?
Right.
Got it. And what was the price of your first property?
$60,000. So watch, let me give you guys a breakdown on this one, right?
Yeah, please.
So watch, $60,000 for a duplex.
Okay.
It was fully occupied. Lower unit, they're paying, I believe, $625, $650, 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Upstairs, they're paying about $600, right? Now, I knew that was going to generate me cash flow as soon as I closed on it. And I knew it was going to cost me I think it was like $650, the monthly note for the hard money loan.
Wow.
And so I knew I was going to be positive already as soon as I closed, right away. So I closed on it. We went in there, and I kid you not, I probably did about $7,000 worth of repairs. I put new carpet downstairs, painted some walls here and there, repaired the immediate maintenance issues. And then months later, I was able to increase the rent to now we're at $850 lower unit and $825 upper unit.
Wow. Damn. And you've refinanced out of it too.
I refinanced. So
during the lower rates.
Yeah. So I got, I refinanced about a year later or 8-9 months, something later. I refinanced, got all the money out, paid back the hard money. Now I'm sitting on a 30-year loan. Yeah. With, I think I got like a 6% interest rate on it. And the property, that was our first property.
Damn.
And when I saw it, and when I looked at the numbers, and I said, well, shit, man, all I got to just repeat the process.
Yeah.
Repeat it. So my next thought was like, how many doors do I need to close to be able to make sure that we're good? And when I say be good, I'm talking about
your monthly expenses.
Yeah. This is the biggest thing.
It's financial freedom.
That kills everyone every month. Your mortgage, your rent, your car notes, insurance, cell phone, all that stuff, which is monthly expenses. So I said to myself, well, how much do I need to cover my monthly expenses? Good. How many properties,
Do I
how
need
many
to cover?
doors do I need to go after that?
Yeah.
Boom, went after it. Second goal is like, all right, whatever else you want, JJ.
Yeah.
But that was the first goal. And that's kind of like what got me
Yeah.
going deeper and deeper to basically pay off for my living expenses.
All right. So as we dove into, okay, there's a practical thing, there's resources, all that stuff. Somebody's probably listening is going, oh man, like you're scratching the surface of it. Like it's possible. There's financing, there's strategy, there's coaching, there's mentorship, all that's there, right? And I can't emphasize enough the mentorship piece, right? Even as Min first said, like him and I were talking about this about 2 months ago. He's like, hey, what do I do? And we're excited about real estate. Where does your money work for you? We talked about mentorship. Biggest thing that people miss is the value of a mentor. So hopefully we establish that.
Wow, the value of mentorship. I'm telling you. So listen, I would not know. I would not be where I'm at if I didn't hire my coach 3-4 months in real estate.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I could not afford that coach. I was broke. I was bankrupt. But I knew I could not afford not to
have him. Yeah.
have a coach. So I told my wife, hey, listen, I did some due diligence. I'm hiring this coach. It's going to be $750 a month. Don't ask me where I'm going to get the money from, but I have 30 days to pay it. You understand?
Yeah.
Commit, figure out later.
Yep.
That's always been my thing.
Yeah.
Because once you know it's something that you need, what were you thinking about it?
Yeah.
You got the money, figure it out. Go
do it.
Go do something.
Yeah.
Raise that money. You get me?
Yeah.
So hiring a coach is very important, especially when we're talking about a live making decision
Yeah.
that could alter the your whole life, your kid's life, and generations to come.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about real estate wealth, family wealth, generational wealth, which is what we're building. My kids already know. I mean, all three of my kids are young adults, but they already know what we're building is going to be, sooner or later, it's going to be theirs. But they're already working for it.
Yeah.
They hustle. They know the business. They know that when it comes down to, they're going to get a piece of that pie for generations. And it's not for them to keep. It's for them to grow for their kids. And their kids got to do the same for their kids. And it's all on the living trust.
Yeah.
So it's all there.
Yeah.
You want some of it? You got to build it.
Hear the rules.
Hear the rules. If not, you're out.
Yep.
And your kids don't get any of it. So
Cleveland's gonna be called the Hot States.
you understand?
Yeah.
And so this is where hiring a coach that's going to give you that certainty, that conviction, that guarantee that, listen, you're not going to fail. You're going to make you're going to be all right.
This. Yeah.
And after this, you're going to go after your second property, third property, your 100th property, whatever you want to do. Then after that, you're going to be able to scale, which is what we're doing now. We're going after bigger deals now.
Yeah.
We're contemplating the development side. We're thinking about developing now.
Yeah.
We're thinking bigger. We're doing bigger now. But we had to start somewhere.
Yep.
And so that's where having that coach that it's going to cost you, but it's going to be a great investment in what you are doing.
Yeah.
It's just the return on investment is insane.
Yeah. The beauty of being able to see somebody who's cut the path already and they know where the landmines are and they know where to tell you not to step. That is invaluable. And I will say from personal experience, I did my first property on my own. I look back and I go, I should have just gone to a mentorship program.
Yep.
And I'm pretty freaking smart and well learned in my industry. So with that, if you're listening to this, right, mentorship, huge key.
Huge key.
I'm a believer now.
Let's give as we come to a close here, let's give 2 stories. First, the worst experience you've had in your real estate. Like, give us a horror story of it. And then give us like a really fun story. And then we'll finish with some testimonials of what's happened now.
Yeah. So worst stories, man. I mean, I have some bad stories, but I don't know if they're
like rats.
Yeah. No, we'll watch. Every property that we buy, it comes with a surprise. They all do. Right? Whether people, they've been paying rent, but as soon as you close it, they find out that you're the new landlord, they want to stop paying rent.
Dang.
To buying a property that the tenant wouldn't let us in. Finally, we were able to get in there about 30 days later. The whole house freaking like 2 feet of trash, the whole house. I mean, it was just like a dumpster in there. Rats, dead rats. I mean, just nasty.
Yeah,
I mean, just that kind of stuff. But I mean, I've seen it all. But here's the beauty of that. And I was just telling someone that I just met not so long ago on through Instagram this. I said, listen, keep in mind, and this is something I tell all the students, you guys here at Boots on the Ground, the nastier, the better. The smellier, the better. The uglier, the better. So where a lot of people, whenever they encounter any of those three, they turn around and be like, never mind. Give me some of the nastiness.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that I know a lot of investors are passing on.
Yeah.
Because it stinks too much. Because it looks too nasty.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I remodel and I flipped hundreds of homes in my career where I know that I could grab a ugly and nasty and turn it into the most beautiful property in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So being able to look at the bad and think about the good on how it's going to look after, I think that's key.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
With some testimonials, right? When people are listening to this, they go, I feel discouraged. I'm hearing that I'm worth taking a chance. I'm hearing that it's worth to bet on myself. Sometimes knowing what's at the end of the road is some of those beautiful. You were sharing a story earlier that I'd love to see if you could share again, but tell us about the first time you discovered something at the airport.
Yeah. So, man, I'm glad you came back to that one. But before that, I'm going to give you something funny.
Please.
So, every time we buy a property, I always like to go back to my upcoming. I grew up here in Staten Island, California, down the street. We always rented. I remember living in some apartments that are just crappy apartments, bad landlords, full of fucking roaches, just nasty, right? And so now every time I close a property, I always like to get that human side of me and just kind of like, hey, how are you? Name's JJ. I'm your new landlord. You're gonna be working through my management company, but I just want that I'm here. Long story short, a lot of my tenants follow me on social media.
Wow.
Right. And this is funny. We're out there in Cleveland, as a matter of fact, last boots on the ground, and we're in the bus, right? And I get a text, and it's from one of my tenants, and she's heavily following me every day on social media. And she goes, hey, JJ, so tomorrow's my birthday, and can you please give me one of your JJ shout-outs, birthday shout-outs on your social media? Please, 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 please. And I thought it was so freaking funny for one of my tenants that follows me on social media and know that I do, random shout outs, birthday shout outs. Hey, big shout outs to my tenant, whatever. I thought that was pretty cool, pretty funny, but cool at the same time to know that you're impacting your tenants in a different way.
Yeah.
You understand? They're not looking at you like that freaking, that mean landlord or the guy that just wants to get my money from, my rent money. They know, they identify with me that I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from. Sure, I'll give you a social media shout out on my Instagram for your birthday. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Dude, you're like bringing life to a community.
Yeah. I think it's important, man.
Yeah.
We're renting two of our units tomorrow, the 1st. And I remember walking into showing the property to one of the newer tenants while I was out there last time, and explain to him, hey, listen, whenever you have an issue, just call management, and we'll send someone from a maintenance crew to take care of it within 24, 48 hours. We'll take care of it. And he looked at me. He's like, wait a minute, you guys have maintenance? You guys actually repair stuff? And it was so crazy to me to know that a lot of people, especially in certain parts of Cleveland, they live in such a bad condition that the landlords don't give a crap.
Wow.
They're just collecting rent. And so I just, coming from a renter side, I just wanted to change that and be just a little different.
That's beautiful.
Life changing.
So it makes them feel like they're human beings.
Exactly,
Well, they are,
bro,
yeah.
because they are.
Yeah.
But
You know what I
people,
mean?
Because of them, they've been mistreated for so long.
Yeah.
They lose that. You know.
Yeah,
And
man.
Remind them.
Yeah.
You know, is really important.
It's a win-win, right?
It's a win-win, man.
It's a mission for yourself and for others.
Absolutely, man. So you know, we're doing something a little different, something that impacts people a little different.
Well, I love that you've taken the Latino hospitality, right? Where like you go to an area, what do? Say hi to everyone. You say bye to everyone. Somebody comes to your house, you share whatever you got.
That's right.
And you've entered into a new aspect of Feast. And the fact that the first thing you did when you had your properties and you substituted your own income and you became financially free, the fact that the next thing in your mind was, how do I bring more people with me? How do I share my meal at this feast that I've created? That's a beautiful gift, man.
So thank you, bro. It happened the very first time. So we flew out there for our first property, and literally we pulled up with a car rental, and I remember looking to the left, and there was the duplex. And it took me a minute for me to kind of like soak it in, and I looked to the right, and I told my wife, babe, it's real. It's the property that we bought. It's here.
Yeah.
And I remember staying out there for a whole week, you know, just studying the market. And the day right before we flew back, she said, hey, you know, why don't we take the last day to just kind of chill? And I said, that's fine. And she found a creek, the suburbs of Cleveland, beautiful place. And I remember us walking down there, and we're sitting by the creek, and just water coming down, and you know, nothing but green. It was during fall, and I had my little notepad. I like to write things down, and I took my little notepad with me, just because I just wanted to kind of write down and document everything that I was feeling at that moment. And I kid you guys not, when I was sitting there, I told my wife, babe, this can't just be for us. We have to share this.
Wow, man, that's powerful.
That's so huge.
Like this is too good for us to keep to ourselves.
That's good, man.
And I just wrote down like what was on my mind, how I was going to do it, and I took right away. Yeah. When we came back, as a matter of fact, way before that, I called my assistant. I said, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start implementing this. Yeah. I don't know how it's going to play out, but this is the bro, idea.
You got this mind, bro. I need this guy's mindset, dude.
Like this guy. So when I land back home, like let's mastermind and let's put it together.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, we took our first trip 2.5 years ago of people. It was like 5 or 6 people that went. That was the first time. And after seeing the impact and the everything that they got out of it, I told my wife, did I tell you this is like, we have to do this, but like massive. We have to do this more often. We have to share this more. Yeah. And I just knew that from day one, man. The first time I went out there, I just knew it was not right for us just to keep for us. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah. Well, dude, my closing remarks on that is going to be, I hope that you have a lot of self-appreciation because you received a gift to be confident in yourself, to not even doubt yourself and keep going. That's a gift.
Yeah, it is.
But then a gift to have a heart that once you get there, your first response is, I got to fucking share this with as many people as possible. Those are 2 aspects that are just absolute miraculous gifts that you have internally. And you should have so much self-gratitude for that, man.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
God-given gifts, dude. Like those are beautiful. Min, anything to finish off, dude?
Nah, man, I'm just absorbing everything he's saying. And it's like, you know, like you said, the 2 things that are really important. It's like you believe before you have evidence.
Yeah, that's huge.
And a lot of people don't believe unless there's evidence. Or at least they have to visualize it. Like you believed and then the visual comes after. That is a gift of itself.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, okay, how do I get this type of mindset in all aspects of my life, not just in one aspect? But it seems like you have this confidence, even if you do fall, it doesn't matter. Like you said, you have that peace when you had to file BK, man. Like I need to have that type of confidence.
So watch, guys.
Like I need that to like bleed through my veins. You know,
it's called having blind faith.
Yeah.
Watch, and you guys, you'll read on it on that book I just gifted you guys. It's called having blind faith. What is blind faith? Blind faith is being blinded and knowing that if you keep going, walking straight, you're gonna be okay. You're not gonna trip. You're not gonna fall. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna get to your destination. You're gonna be all right. That's having blind faith. Most of the time, us humans, because we have so much freaking failures, we have so much doubt, we have so much negativity, we have so much people telling us, no, 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 no. If we don't see it, we don't believe it. So in other words, have you done it? Show me how to do it, and then I'll see if I'll do it.
Yeah.
Most of us, if we don't see it, we will not believe it.
Yeah.
Have blind faith.
Yeah.
That you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
That although you know something's gonna go sideways, it's all right. You're gonna turn it back and you're gonna keep on going straight and you're gonna hit your destination. You're gonna be all right. That's called having blind faith, brother. And I pray. I'm a big believer, and I say to God every day, man, you know what I want. Yeah. You know what's in my heart. You know my goals. You know you know what I want.
Yeah. Amen.
Guide me, take me. And let's go, because I'm going. You get me? And so blind faith.
Bro.
Walk out of here running through a wall next.
I know, right? So if you've listened to this and you're thinking to yourself, I don't have that faith myself because I do need that proof. Hopefully this show is giving you one evidence to look at somebody else's life and go, he has proved it. It's real, and it can be real for me as well. So if you're in a moment in your life where you're having to make a decision of, am I going to believe in myself? Am I going to move forward? Am I going to try? Let this episode be encouragement to you that you're worth giving yourself a chance. And the product of you doing that can be greater than you ever imagined. Not just for you, but for the children your children are going to have.